difficulties. We apologise for that, as it seems to be nice and sunny today. The intermission gave us some time to, let's see, do the rain dance or something, and the sunshine comes back out. T-Dub is gone.
Hello.
T-Dub! Oh, for goodness sake, you had me scared there. I thought you were going to jump in and say something.
The commercial break has been broken.
Oh, you... So me and him had an inside joke. I ripped up a piece of paper that said commercial on it, and I said it was the commercial break.
I mean, it's great comedy. Comedy with a K. Obviously, the intermission we had doesn't affect anything because we restart the lobby anyway after qualifying, so everybody gets all their soft compound tyres back. I don't know whether we'll use them. Unless it starts raining 6 laps into the race, we probably won't see the red striped soft tyres too much, although I think I can see ET8 Paul might have them on, so I could be proved incredibly wrong. We'll have to wait and see.
We're just waiting for the start, everybody. Here we go. We have a quintet of red lights facing 20 drivers, 19, sorry. And they leave the grid in unison. And it will be Marius leading the way into the first corner. He's well ahead of the field, heading into the first corner, everyone locking up into the first corner, but doesn't seem to be any drama out of the first corners as Moustache and Owen get it on down towards Eau Rouge. Also Lawrence and Paul going side by side. Here we go. Is there going to be any incidents up Eau Rouge? Not of the notice. They are all getting through nice and clean.
ET Paul on the charge though, trying to go around the outside of Lawrence. Casper Flack getting involved. The race leader, Marius Foreman, is on the soft compound tyre, everybody. That's a turn up for the books as ET Paul's going to go wide through the Les Combes chicane and may have to give that position back to one of the two McLaren Esports Livery cars that sat just behind him. Couple of drivers on mediums. Further down the order, we've got 4 on the medium tyres, everybody else on the hard. So does Marius Foreman know something we don't and know something that everybody else does? Is the rain coming imminently?
He knows that he is crazy and gutsy. That's for sure. Moustache is being left in the dust, but I don't think he has to be too worried about that because he is on the hardest of hard compounds ahead of Owen, who, and there's a Thomas Covers has just had a bad to worse day now. He is just went down to last. Yep. And Lakitu's already in the naughty books.
Soft tyres working out in front though, 1.2 seconds advantage that Marius Foreman's got. He's done what he needed to do straight away, which is get the group behind out of DRS. The problem is that for the rest of this stint, those hard tyres are probably going to be a little bit quicker, but at least Moustache is going to have to deal with the huge train of cars behind as the two McLaren Esports livery car swap places. Casper Flack up ahead of Lawrence into 5th position, sat now just behind the Pink Panther of ET8 Paul. And, Owen very close to the back, Moustache down into La Source. I doubt we'll see him move, and he'll most likely be with the helping hand of DRS down the Kemmel straight and up towards Les Combes.
And they'll get it coming out of Radillon. As we're not going to even look at Marius right now because he's well ahead. We'll probably lose track of any action here. So it's going to be Moustache and Owen going to be doing the duel down the Kemmel Straight. And it's a plain sailing for Owen, who doesn't seem to be taking any fight. Moustache isn't even fighting them. He's just let Paul through immediately. And my goodness, Casper Flack nearly runs into the back of him.
Talesborough relegating Lawrence down a position as well. 6th and 7th position swapping hands. And there's the two drivers with medium compound tyres on just behind Darth FIFA and Spanias Nordic Ninja rounding out our top 10. The big movers on the opening couple of laps. Not really any major ones. Lawrence down 3, Nordic Ninja and even Nye swapping places. And then Thomas Covers losing 3 positions with that pit stop for a new front wing. 1.4 seconds advantage now Marius Foreman has got over Owen, who used the DRS to get past Moustache. And we've got a bit of jostling behind coming out of Poole with Talesborough on the charge, maybe trying to get past another McLaren Esports livery car of Casper Flack.
And he's going to try and stay behind Casper Flack. Casper Flack, of course, our coordinator for this tier, had some issues with setting up the lobby. We're here now. I'm surprised there's no DRS here, but I think it's to avoid damage. What have you just seen?
I've just seen Darth FIFA try an outrageous move around the outside of Blanchimont. Lawrence is getting swallowed up a little bit here, having to go defensive into the bus stop. And Darth FIFA just trying to stick that bright red car alongside. Now they're going to drag race out of the bus stop down towards that source. I think Spanias trying to get involved in that as well.
Capitalism from Spanias. Is it going to pay off? He's going to try and take both of them here. This would be outrageous if he gets this. He's going for it down there. We can't see what's going on, but he's going down the inside there. There's Casper Flack there. Sorry, not Casper Flack. Lawrence. Casper Flack is in 5th, not 7th. Doesn't seem to be getting it now. Darth FIFA is going to get some momentum back in him. And he's going to try and battle this 8th place. But Nordic Ninja is going to get through them both. Yeah, no ERS for Darth. He used it all up at Blanchimont, perhaps, and oh my goodness, Nordic Ninja nearly losing a position and has to slow down to give Darth FIFA away. And that was unfortunate for Nordic Ninja. Tried to advance a couple of positions, instead goes back to square one, down in 10th place.
Yeah, Darth FIFA, the big loser there, was the driver on the assault, and in the end getting shuffled down a couple of places through La Source, almost running out onto the gravel, just getting stuck on the big sausage curb on the outside, down into 9th place, briefly 10th, but getting back past Nordic Ninja. The gap still over a second. Owen working hard to try and get back into that DRS range of Marius Swimmer, and ETIP getting dropped a little bit. That gap's at 8/10 of a second. This pace early on in this stint is very, very quick.
Indeed it is. So through they come, Blanchimont once again, lap 3 of 22. It just goes like clockwork here at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. So Zane is going to try and make a move, it seems, on Nico Sos, or is it going to be Pepin? They're very close to the other drivers, and that seems to be it. As they approach the bus stop once again, Mario's now setting the fastest time of the race, but on the softest tyre. Now Owen takes it right off him, 144.766, but it's well ahead of the game right now.
Paul out of DRS range, Casper Flack out of DRS range as well. So for some reason, this pace that's being exerted by Marius Swimmer and Owen really separating the field out. Casper Flack's got absolutely no ERS at all. It's going to get swallowed up by potentially a couple of cars. Certainly Talesborough is going to relegate the McLaren Esports Livery car down into 6th place. And Moustache, I think, is going to put one on ET8 Paul. Through go the two championship protagonists. Moustache getting one over on his rival. Casper Flack, is he going to lose out to Spanias, who hasn't quite got the battery charge after overtaking Lawrence?
So Talesborough now up to 5th place and is about 9/10 behind Paul, still within DRS range, but he's in DRS range of his foal in the title race. That is Moustache, and at this rate he'll take a 1-point lead back from Paul, who was in a 1-point lead.
Hugely interested to see how this plays out. Is this a 1 million IQ play by Marius Swimmer? He's spread the pack out and he's caused Moustache, ET Paul, Casper Flack. They've all got a bit of a problem now because that gap has picks up a second 3-second penalty. That is very early after just 3.5 laps, 4.5 laps even. But yeah, Owen is slowly but surely eating away at that lead, back down to 1.2 seconds. But they could work together pretty nicely here because that gap back to Moustache now nearly 2 seconds, and ET8 Paul at the moment doesn't seem to have the race pace to compete.
Yeah, he doesn't. 2 seconds now between Owen and Moustache, and it's getting even higher as we approach lap number 5 now. The Marios comes out of there and will cross the line to start lap number 5. With all the other drivers just falling up in a nice orderly fashion like the peloton in the Tour de France.
I'm a big fan of how this has played out, I have to say. The pace that's been set out, Marius Swimmer's company's absolutely torn up the rule book and the expectations coming into this race by going out like an absolute bullet as Talesborough on the curbs going through a Rouge and Radio and almost dropping it Kevin Magnussen style from 2016. I think Paul is going to put the same move on Moustache that the championship leader did on the previous lap. Through goes the Pink Panther car.
Back in the lead by 3 points.
This is going to be very interesting. I think we're going to see that flip-flop for the majority of this race. Oh, it is now within the 1 second window. Paul's still 2.1 further back now at the head of, like you said, the peloton of cars, going all the way down to Matthias in P17. Yeah,
no points are insured, except for Marios, who gets a point for pole position regardless of where he finishes today. So good on Marios. We're getting 1 point closer to those above. For the meantime, as Talesborough right behind the two championship fighters, or the two championship protagonists, I can say. As you can see, the smoke being emitted from those lockups. Paul is flying further behind now as Owen has found some speed. He's actually half a second behind Marios. Marios seems to be playing it a little daintily now. He does understand that he is running out of steam. And now Owen is going to try and get past. Will he need to try and... Well, he probably will have to, because Marios is staying out another lap, and he will get the flap open here. So they come through... Yeah?
Yeah, sorry, I don't think Marios will be too concerned by this. He could probably use Owen, to be fair, to try and keep dragging him away from the group behind. That's now 2.6 seconds between second and third place. The pace for Marios forward is actually very strong compared to the group behind Owen. Owen seeming absolutely rapid, though, in this race, and I think we are going to see the lead changing hands.
Here it comes. Through he goes, and no challenge from Marios as expected. But what's going to happen behind is going to be even more interesting. Paul is not going to budge here. It's going to let Tails and Moustache through, and now he's back down to fifth. So a lot of chess being played here, but that is to be expected. Wow, look at that. 2 by 2, like Noah's Ark through Vlecom. And it is, I think, Ecosauce getting the best of that one. The winner in the chaos that was Jeddah. The joust in Jeddah, and that obviously did not end well. Less said about it, the better.
Big fan of this, by the way, like you've just said. All 4 alien cars fighting over the same piece of track. Nico is up into 11th, but look at that gap. Another crucial delta opening up between a couple of drivers. 1.6 seconds, that's going to be very difficult to overcome with the pace of the group in front. Moustache is closing on Marius, who I think those soft tyres now starting to die off. He has got a lot of ERSF, and he's going to have to burn it to make sure he keeps the DRS of Owen in front to keep him away from the group behind. He's played his strategy cars. There's obviously, from what we saw in the previous race, there must be some rain at the end of this Grand Prix. So Mario's decided he's going to go for a fast opening stint and get a massive undercut. The others on the hard tyres. Owen locks the rears into the bus stop chicane, though, and that means that Marius is going to be confirmed to have DRS down up towards Les Combes at the end of sector number 1. But yeah, as I was saying, these guys on the hards must be thinking they've got to try and go until the rain comes, and Marius Stormer is going to have to... From the huntee, he's going to have to be the hunter in the second half of this race.
I don't see any rain coming. I honestly don't see any rain coming. I think they forgot to set the weather. I'm starting to be convinced about that, but let's see what's going to happen here. Tailsborough and Moustache leading the peloton, and I think there's going to be a move from Tailsborough. Yes, there is, and I believe that may be it from there, but further behind, the alien car. The more you talk about aliens, the more I want to watch Alien Romulus as they make their way through Les Combes, still as a foursome of colour-coordinated cars.
I think Marius could now be in a bit of trouble. He has fallen outside the DRS window of Owen in front. This is the opportunity now for Tailsborough Moustache, E-Tipple, just to reel the pole sitter back in towards the pack and make his life difficult. I imagine as soon as Tailsborough catches up to the back of Marius, or whoever is in third place by the time they catch up to the Alpine Esports livery car, Marius will dive into the pits.
Alright, so... we are still looking at what is to be had here. Owen's still leading the race by 1.5 seconds. I think this is a sign that Marios has to jack it in. I didn't see what the weather was, in all honesty, so I don't think it's going to rain at all, in all honesty. If there's no clouds within like 100 meters, yeah, I think it's going to be sunny all race. Marios has finally given up the ghost and is going to be pitting for, I presume, the hard tyres.
Oh, the medium runners are in as well. That's slightly earlier than I was expecting. Spanias and Darth FIFA following the strategy from Marius Orwin, who does indeed put on the white striped medium, the white striped hard tyres. Yeah, this is an interesting one.
I remember it used to just be soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, and then they realised, oh, we've made them more realistic, the tyre compounds, so I'm guessing now it is medium hards all the way, or even a mixed bag at points. I think it should make it two. I think they should make 2 stops mandatory in some races.
It would be a fun one, yeah. It would be a fun one.
Oh, a Nordic Ninjas went off the track, and oh, he's been hit there. I think that was Nico Sauce. Now, did he get damaged? I don't think he did. Oh. No, it wasn't. It was what's happened.
Well, Nordic Ninja, on rejoining, going through Rivage of Brugel,
got damage.
almost went straight into the back of Diogo Silva. Already had damage before that, but that's absolutely ruined Nordic Ninja's race. Going to have to jump back into the pits. The strategy's going to be a problem as well because he's on the tyres that he wants to be on, the hard compound. You can see how much downforce he's losing through poo on there. Not ideal.
Yeah, he didn't react like a ninja through those corners, did he?
Nice.
So Nordic Ninja got damage there from that incident with Zane, and I believe will have to pit. He already went off the track and failed to give way, so it's a double whammy there from the Nordic Ninja. Owen's lead is now 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That is dominating.
We're going to have to see some teamwork from the peloton behind. Tails for Moustache. Oh, that is a penalty for Zane. That could be crucial. Tails for Moustache, Paul, Casper Flack and Lawrence. They're going to have to work together. DRS share up towards the leader. Otherwise, unless we get a safety car at some point, they're absolutely stuffed and they're just going to be battling for second place and potentially third because Marius Formula might come through like an absolute tracer bullet and overtake all of them on his much fresher hard compound tyres.
Well, let's see what happens here. I'm on board with Casper Flack, who's trying to find a way through. Let's see what happens here. What's Moustache going to do? He's going to try and pass Tailsborough. Or is he? Is it 3 wide? It's 3 wide, maybe 4. And Moustache does get through. Tailsborough, Paul, and Casper Flack behind in that order. Oh, and what's going on here? The battle's still continuing. That's Casper Flack going round the outside. A bold move and a bold statement indeed. And he's made it stick.
Fair play. Fair play. Absolutely launched it around the outside. Bravery on the brakes to 100%. But why are these guys battling so hard? It's infuriating. The gap's now 3.7 seconds. They've left themselves even more work to do.
They're handing this to Oren, who would become the second driver to win a race this season. And I do believe he'd be the first to win consecutive races, if I am wrong. Yes, he would be. So it'll be another record to be held on this. PSGL Twitter has been criticised by Matthias for outing him. Well, what do you mean by outing him? We're just saying this happened. It's not like your life's going to get ruined.
Oh, Tailsborough. 3-second penalty.
No. I think they might be seeing a lot of these tonight. Look at all those cars. Pretty much the same. I don't even think they're even teammates. No, they're not. They're trying to be who's the better Incredible Hulk cosplay car. I don't even think Hulk had a car. Well, an F1
gang
car.
Of aliens.
Aliens, Alien 2, or Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Romulus is in the lead.
I reckon Owen is running incredibly low wings because even with the DRSs, the aliens are dueling very hard. Zane getting shuffled down a couple of places, but even with the DRS that Tailsborough's got, they don't gain any time really on Owen in front. That gap's now down to just 3.5 seconds. With the DRS, you'd expect that to be a little bit less. So the DRS sharing, either they're not doing it effectively enough. What's gone on?
That's Pepper and Zane dueling for 9th place. And they got pretty hard into Brazils and No Name. And they're still fighting amongst each other, heading into Pouon. But it seems to have died down now.
I think Tailsborough's got the message, by the way, trying to put the hammer down and make some kind of inroads on the group in front.
Finally.
Everybody behind, they're just sat with almost full ERS charges, squabbling amongst themselves. What are you doing, guys? You've got a race to potentially win here. Tailsborough's decided to check out. Moustache is nearly a second behind now. So if Tailsborough goes, these guys are just going to be, well, shooting themselves in the foot once again. But I think Moustache has realised the danger, used a bit of his ERS just to try and keep himself within that DRS range.
Yes, there is still a race to win, said Sebastian Vettel. When he retired, he had that campaign where he wanted to save the world. And he did so by erecting a bee farm in Suzuka, which was pretty cool.
Yes.
When's he going to do that for Knock Hill? I'd happily meet Sebastian Vettel any day. Anyway, coming through to Eau Rouge and Radion from the somewhat semi-leaders, we could say. Casper Flack, one of them, and he's going to pass Moustache again. And Paul unable to get past his championship foe, so Moustache still technically in the lead of this championship by 1 point if we're talking live statistics.
Very close.
Very close. 1 point isn't worth that much. Usually it only gets you 10th place.
I feel really bad for Talesborough here, by the way. He's being made to do the dog work in this race. He's the horse and cart for the drivers behind. He's the chariot, if you will. No one else seems particularly interested in trying to help him. Casper Flack, he's got nearly 90% of his ERS left. He's very close to dropping out of Talesborough's DRS. I imagine he'll be able to get back into it because Talesborough doesn't have a lot of ERS left. He's pushing hard. He still thinks that he can try and catch up. The problem is he's not getting any help from the group behind.
Yeah, you can see
Sound
the
like a
gaps
broken
building
record.
up. Owen is on a flyer. And I don't know what the difference is. Is it the setups? Is it just the raw pace? I think his pace is just phenomenal. As everyone
I agree with that, yeah.
Everyone from 2nd to 6th is filtering through the bus stop and are so close to each other. 3.5 seconds separate 6th and 7th, by the way. That just shows how close these five are. Very competitive bunch. It's like that 2nd to 6th battle they had at Silverstone 2 years ago in the real Formula 1. And anyway, here they come through to start lap 12, halfway now through this race. And what's going to happen between these guys? Let's find out. I do see potential move from Casper Flack. He's just going to pass Talesborough there. He's already got a 3-second penalty, so he's now in second proper. And that is Gian and Nikosoft making some moves there as well. Those cars, all pretty much the same colour, are in the one bunch right now. I don't know what is going on other than a alien invasion. Where's their UFO?
I can't quite see it. Probably landing at the bus stop or in the beautiful Ardennes Forest. Is this PlayStation PSGL?
Yes. This is the PlayStation, which was the reason why the Sega Saturn failed.
And
back in
F2.
1995. Yes, it is F2. Ooh. F1, but somewhat less good. As you can tell by my voice.
PSGL, PSF1, but worse. Nah, that's harsh. These guys are very, very quick. Very, very quick.
PSF1 is great because I'm not commentating it. We've run out of things to say because there's nothing happening at the front. Lakito, please stop getting penalties. I don't mean to berate you, but you're a veteran of this sport, man. How many years you've been in? You've been here since the year dot. As Gian is pitted now. Casper now is probably going to be passed here by Talesborough, but it's not really helping them this game playing catch up. Henry Kelly gave them the order to play catch up, and they're just battling amongst themselves, it seems.
Marius Formula very quietly going about his business, just set the fastest lap of the race meanwhile, and is currently, if I can get the intervals right, 15 seconds off the lead as Talesborough gets back ahead of Casper Flack, and that group of four with Lawrence just struggling to hold on to the coattails of that quartet behind them. Still trying to charge after Owen, but that gap stabilising a little bit now, around 3.7, 3.8 seconds.
Lakitu is just completed lap 12, by the way. He's 4.3 seconds behind Thomas Covers. It's a long way away. We have 10 laps to go here, and Owen is still on a charge. He seems unbeatable and unfazed through these corners in the Ardennes Forest. It just seems like there is nothing stopping him today. It's like he's got Freddie Mercury on in his headset.
He is very much shouting, "Don't stop me now," as he goes down the Kemmel Straight. He's been absolutely rapid. Should have been on pole, but a mistake in the bus stop chicane resigned him to only third on the grid. But was helped, to be fair, by Marius Swimmer starting on the softs, gunning it out of the blocks. Owen trying his best to go with him, inadvertently dropping the group behind as well. And that's giving him this massive buffer to work with. So if they undercut him, he's not going to be at any risk because he's got 3.5 seconds to work with.
Absolutely. So we have 9 laps left here. Pepin makes his pit stop. I don't know when they're going to stop, in all honesty. Mario's
like you said earlier, it
ninth.
doesn't look like it's going to rain, does it?
Yeah, am I cutting off for you a lot? Because you seem to be jumping in at some weird moments.
Yeah, you did cut out for me there.
Oh dear, I really should change my controller. How am I sounding in the chat, everyone? As we see some passes, as I try to fix my microphone. It's the PlayStation DualSense controller now. It's DualSense, not DualShock, I've been told. As Tailsborough is now back into third. Still 3.5 seconds the gap. It just doesn't seem like that this gap is coming down anytime soon unless there's a safety car.
Marius Allman is still charging towards them as well. Gap's only 10 seconds between himself and the front of this train. I wonder what the tactic is going to be from these guys staying out on the hards. They must know something that we don't, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Got a lot of ERS, by the way. ET8 Paul's in a little bit of bother, it has to be said. 9/10 off the back. He's got no ERS left either. So is ET8 Paul about to drop out of this train? 1 second now. Tailsborough's dumping all of it. Is he potentially going to think about a move into the bus stop to get past Casper Flack? I don't think he is. They're going to retain the status quo. Paul, though, under
Casper's
pressure
in.
and into the pits. Oh, a couple of drivers in. Casper Flack's in, ET8 Paul's in, Moustache in, Lauren's in as well. So it's actually Tailsborough who's very much been hung out to dry.
Nico Sauce isn't, Ian isn't. Ewan has probably been undercut here, and this will be quite interesting. Owen coming through the bus stop chicane. Now, what are these drivers going to go on at mediums, as I probably imagined? Soft, as you can see, probably a bit too risky, as Paul and Moustache now come out at the same time. Now, where are they going to come out? The drivers who have already pit. Marios is ahead of them, but he has old, hard tyres. Spanias is in between Casper Flack and Paul, as Zane and Nico Sauce do a duel of themselves. They have yet to pit, of course.
Paul and Moustache are in big trouble. 2 seconds off the back of Spanias and Casper Flack.
Sorry about that. They do battle in between the corners, and look at them just filtering through. Lots of battling to be had here.
Oh, and down the inside we go with Jan. That's a very aggressive move down into Rivage. And ET8 Paul's going to try and fight it around the outside. Almost shoved over the curb. Is he going to give it a little bit back? No, it's beautiful around the outside of No Name. Jan, who gets an undercut on those medium tyres. 2 lap older, but he's relegated Paul down another spot. The championship leader is in big trouble now with his rival starting to pull away from him.
Yeah, Moustache and Paul have made a real full part of this one. Let me just check the standings as sorry. Owen is finally in the pits. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. I was actually trying to find the standings.
Aylesbury in as well. Zane and Nico, though, staying out on their hard compound tyres. Marius Allman is the net race leader. I think Owen's probably going to be maybe 4 or 5 seconds further back. Casper Flack currently leading the charge. Tailsborough onto the soft compound tyres, though. Hello.
And Marius is now in the lead, and he might have a big lead over Owen here. Yes, he is. So now, Marius does know something we don't. Marius is now 4 seconds ahead of Owen. Owen was 3.5 seconds ahead of everyone else. Now he's only 1.5 seconds ahead of Casper Flack. But it is never over until the checkered flag falls. Now, Tailsborough has already lost position to Spanias, but I presume that's because he's not warmed up his tyres fully yet. Sure, he'll get that back soon. Further behind,
that's not good.
That is Pepin and Diogo Silva for 13th. That's not points pink position. And now Tailsborough on the charge. He's been made to wait behind Spanias and nearly runs into the back of him. Centauri on the back of his car, not a real sponsor, of course, and neither of those on the cars. He goes for it and Pruon! And no budging from Spanias. Spanias lets him go, and now up into 6. He's on the charge he needs, and that is Moustache coming through, and he needed that move. That's a great move from Moustache up the inside, and he got a bird's eye view of it from the back, did you, Tailsborough? And now he's going to be charging for Tailsborough, who has a penalty already, but I don't think he'll be getting it very soon, because he, of course, is on the harder compound. as Paul also gets past Spaniards off camera. Now, what are the top two going to do? They're going to pit now? Well, Zane's in, but not Nico Sauce.
16.
Nico Sauce is staying out. He's 6 to go. It's not going to rain in time. Marius is now in second. Owen 4.5 seconds behind. No, 3 seconds behind now. He's definitely starting to show that he has the more superior tyres, obviously. But will his tyres be healthy enough compared to Marius at the end of this race? I think they will be. I think it's looking good for Owen.
And a podium for Marius Forman, to be fair, is looking very likely as well. Casper Flack at the moment is absolutely rapid on his set of medium tyres. Talesborough, though, struggling on the softs. Got caught up behind Spanias on that previous lap as he came out of the pits. I muttered, that is not good news. It certainly wasn't. Lost him probably a couple of seconds there. It's Moustache going to make a move into the Lechicom chicane. No, not quite close enough as Lawrence now pushes Spanias further down. The order, Jan with a penalty. Been a really good recovery, to be fair, from what was a terrible qualifying session. Gets Tony Hawk style over the curb coming through the end of the Lake Com chicane, currently running in 8th place. Eat Paul and Moustache, though, I mean, this is looking not ideal for either of them, it has to be said. They're a decent chunk behind Marisol with 5 to go.
Yes, they are indeed. As you can see, the gaps are starting to close down at the top. Is Nico Soft going to throw a spanner in the works? Perhaps not. I'm sure he's going to be pitting now, and this will have to be for the soft tyres. And in all honesty, I'm not sure where it will get him. Where did he start in the race? He started 14th, so he'd be lucky to get a points finish here in all due honesty and respect.
Well, look at where Zane came out in 14th. Yeah, so surely Nico's he's staying out again. Look up at the sky, Nico. There's still blue sky everywhere. The rain's not going to start falling. He must be waiting for a safety car, goal hanging, if you will. The gap between himself and Maris Forman, is 1.8 seconds. Maris Forman mistaken to turn number 1, though. Way too late on the brakes. Big lock up, both the front tyres. Going to lose him a couple of tenths there. Owen is coming. Casper Flack's coming. Telsborough finally getting those soft tyres working as well as he sets the fastest lap of the race. This could be a very interesting finish.
It could indeed. Now, Marius, 1.8 seconds behind. Nikos yet to pit. I think he's gambling like it's Leicester winning the league at 5,000 to 1. I don't see this working out very well. Either that or he's just going for a casual stroll around Spa-Francorchamps. It's a favourite of many here. Ironically, no! Owen's got a 3-second penalty! And that might be the race over. I think Marius might have this one, and it would be great news for him, because he will get closer to Moustache and Paul, who have had a shocking week today. They'll be equal on points.
Do not discount Casper Flack, though. Don't discount Casper Flack. He's 2.5 seconds off the back of Marius Forman and catching very quickly. And he's also going to have to deal with the group behind because Talesborough's almost in the DRS range. Casper Flack in front, bringing Moustache and ET8 Paul along with him. So this is going to... Marius Forman's going to have quite a trainer lane behind him by the time we get to lap 22, I imagine.
Yeah, and Owen needs to get past, and he needs to do it now. No challenge from Marius. He knows what Owen has to do. Or is there? There is! Maybe he does know something. He has to fight it. And oh my goodness, they're going side by side through the corner, but Owen gets position eventually. And now he nearly run in, and Marius has made a mistake. Marius makes a mistake and loses time to Owen, who is now 6 tenths ahead and could definitely still win this race. Nico Sauce hasn't come in yet. This is the last lap in which a safety car could occur, and I hate to say it, I don't think he's going to be seeing one.
He's going to be giving Owen DRS, though. This is not good news for Marius Forman. The reason Marius had to fight it is because Owen can definitely still pull 3 seconds on him. It's just a matter of whether Casper Flack, Moustache and ET Paul will still be within 3 seconds. But look at this. Owen getting a very nice suck down the straight towards the Lake Com chicane. 2.3 seconds a gap back to Casper Flack. He's stabilised a little bit. His pace has dropped off in the last couple of laps, it has to be said. He's now got Talesborough right behind him, and crucially for the championship, ET8 Paul is the head of Moustache.
No one's retired from the race, by the way. What consistency and reliability from these drivers tonight.
Minimal mistakes. Absolutely ideal. Owen is right on the back of Nico, by the way. I wonder if we're going to see him move into the Fania chicane using his DRS diving up the inside. I don't think Nico's going to fight this too hard, and that alien car does get out of the way, rolling out the red carpet and the white flag on his very old white striped hard compound tyres. Mario's got to try and put his foot down now and get within 3 seconds, or stay within 3 seconds of Owen. The race win very much still on, but he's made life ever so difficult for himself.
Now the gap's 1.5. 1.5. Owen needs to just run away now. Marius may have thrown this away.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, if they were told on the weather radar that there was rain, Lakitu, is that 12 seconds now?
Probably.
He tipped forward
15 seconds! 15! Ooh. Actually, I should put the penalties on, because they will matter. Oh, he's definitely got this.
Stayed out again, by the way.
Yep. I cannot see Owen losing this race now. But they
Casper
might
Flack's under huge.
Yes, he is.
Flack's under pressure. Mm.
And he gets position, but remember, he has got a 3-second penalty. And Paul is behind him. Paul now actually has the championship lead again. They would have been tied if they finished in 6th and 7th the other way, as Pepin gets a penalty as well. So it looks like that Owen, he's pulling away very nicely now. I don't think anyone can stop him now unless a complete miracle happens, but Owen, everything has fallen for him.
Talesborough would be the only hope on those soft tyres, but that 3-second penalty is really going to hurt him. He may be able to, and this could be what we see, can he drag someone like Casper Flack or Etiek Paul, who may be saving up for a last lap assault on Owen to try and nab what would be an incredibly unlikely race victory? Can he drag them back into 3 seconds? The problem for Talesborough is he's going to have to dispose of Mario's Formula ASAP, who isn't actually a lot quicker than Nico in front, who's on 7-lap older tyres. Nico really meddling with the main protagonist for the race winner. Surely he's going to pit this lap. Is he waiting for the end? No. Finally. That alien peels off into the pits.
I don't think it's done him any good. I think he's going to fall down to 15th. Maybe 16th. It's definitely going to be 15th at least. And it will be for softs.
3.6 seconds though. The
gap
out
I don't see this getting beaten here. I think Evan Nye is going to give up here, because he has just got a 10-second penalty. Is now Marius gets passed by Talesborough. But I think he's just given it away. Casper Flack is coming through now. Casper Flack is now the only one that can really challenge Owen for the win, and he has a bit of help, but he's 1 second behind the threshold. I don't see it happening. Paul now gets past Marius. Marius starting to lose it now. Moustache now is going to lose more points. I think that's... Yeah, he's going to be 4 points behind now, which is not very good. Marius now is going to fall well behind, and his gap to the top two will completely fall further down. And Casper Flack is not finding any time. He's 4 down. He needs to be within 3. 4.1. It's not looking good.
He's got a lot of DRS, so he's going to have to, on this final lap, use the DRS down the Kemmel Straight as an absolute slingshot to try and catapult him as close as possible to Owen. He needs to make up 1.2 seconds on this final turn, which is going to be very, very difficult indeed, especially with him having to defend from the championship leader Etiek Paul in the Pink Panther car. Sat right on his tail. Talesborough's slow. Those soft tyres have now got off. The mediums are quicker. Bit of a wobble into the bus stop chicane. Casper Flack with it all to do. Moustache and Marius Formula battling hard through the bus stop. Marius Formula giving a bit of an elbow barge there as Moustache forces his way through up into 5th place. As we start the final lap, Casper Flack 1.4 seconds now he's going to have to make up. It's looking insurmountable.
Yeah, I think they've just been jostling a bit around each other too much, and Owen has just been leaving them in the dust, and he's going to get a second win in a row, which would mean he would go up to 34 points, still some way off the leader, but still a fantastic performance nevertheless, and that is Casper Flack getting past Talesborough for second, and that's Paul also getting through for what would be 4th place, yes, 3rd place, sorry. So now, Casper Flack, who has there's an incident there. I'm not sure for who, but it seems to have been cleared now. Nordic Ninja again, it seems. But I think Owen has it in the bag. 1.13 the aggregate gap, and I think that might be enough. Casper Flack is going to get nowhere near. Going to get nowhere near that 3 second. They haven't even tried. They've just pretty much handed it to Owen, who clearly has had the pace today.
He was helped though by some terrible strategic decisions on the softs. It was a master, it didn't.
You're cutting out, mate. You're cutting out a
lot.
lot.
He's going to end up place.
You cut out a lot there. Owen. Well, here he comes then. Owen with a fantastic drive throughout. It's going to take victory in Belgium. And ahead of him, Casper Flack. Paul Tailsborough will get a penalty. Moustache will now be 3 points behind his title rival with that 4th place. Marios has to settle for 5th. The strategy did not work. My goodness, look at the fighting behind. Oh, and there's been a crash behind. But Spanias will get the position. Nico Sauce, who was leading for a portion of the race, only finished 12th.
An absolute drag race over the line there as well. Am I back, by the way?
Yes.
I'm going to out the PlayStation Party system here because I think that's what's to blame for you cutting out on my end. And,
wait, you did?
Because I've listened to the broadcast. We're having a debrief right here. I've listened to the broadcast, and you sound absolutely nothing like that in my PlayStation Party window. But we did get to the end of the race eventually with a few issues in there.
Must be me.
With
Sorry.
Owen, yeah, with Owen doing enough.
Oh, it's got Ferrari in his tag as well. As Zane. So that's it. The race over. Everyone finished. Very rare that happens. I think they were told not to retire because it could cause problems for drivers behind. It didn't seem to be a major incident either. So there was a couple of wing losses. Thomas Covers nullifies the fastest lap point. He has to finish in the top 10. So it'll be Owen, Casper Flack, Paul, Moustache, Marios, Tailsborough, Lawrence, Jan, Zane, and Spanish, your top 10 people. Someone just missing out on the points, as well as Nico Sauce, Steve Head, right at the line of drag race. Matthias went from last to 14th, fair effort. Jan from 17th to 8th. But Owen wins for the 2nd week in a row and gets another 16 points, taking it up to 33. But that should see him around, I believe, 8th place in the championship now. Still a long way off. Paul has 74 now, so I don't think the championship could be in his grasp, I'm afraid. But we are going to... Is it Monza next week?
It is Monza next week.
Yes, Monza. Then I believe that's Qatar and Brazil, which will be our final 3 rounds, starting with next week, Monza, the 16th of September. You don't want to miss that. We're having issues here, so we're just going to jump off here. We'll just say goodnight. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you watch PSF1 right now. Of course, the same track and same goal to win the race, of course, in Belgium. I've been Otaku Logan. He's been T-Dub. We thank you for watching. We wish you a very good night all.
See you next week, everybody.